Hey everybody, Roseanne Hogan here. Most of you know that I'm in a fifth grade classroom, so I tried to pick a book that I could use with them. Fifth grade standards are U, and so I chose to do the book "The Last Voyage of Columbus." It's by Martin Dugard. The hardback copy was published in 2005, and the actual paperback one was published in May of 2006. I did read the book. I read it word for word, cover to cover. I liked it. It was very interesting. It did take a little bit to get into it, I guess. I do recommend it for upper elementary, like fifth, sixth grade, even middle school, like high school could even do this. I don't recommend it for under fifth grade. I really don't. Only because it is a nonfiction book, and there's some things that I did not know about Christopher Columbus that are brought out in this book. He was a very promiscuous man, and it does talk about that in some of the places of the book. So I would just be careful. Make sure it's like upper elementary, middle school, that kind of thing. It's a very good book. It basically talks about Columbus's adventure from when his final voyage. That's the title of the book, Final Voyage. So it talks about his adventure on his final voyage, because he had the 3 boats. I didn't know that he left on the Pinta, and he was actually shipwrecked in Jamaica because the rudder messed up on it, and they ended up being there for a year. And so that's why nobody really knew, or I didn't know that it took him as long to get here as it did. Yeah, he ended up being shipwrecked in Jamaica, and when they finally got the boat fixed, they ended up getting into fights with Indians. His crew wanted to go back home. They wanted to leave him. They were like, "We're not going with you, dude. Peace out. We're scared. We don't know where we're at. We don't know where we want to go. We want to go back to Spain." And he was like, "No, you're not leaving me. Just trust me. We're going to make it." And so after they got in the fight with the Indians, they left Jamaica, and they ended up coming to what is now the New World, which is North America. And I think it said that they actually landed what is Haiti and the Dominican Republic is where, now that's the title, but that's where he landed, when he finally got to land once they left Jamaica. So yeah, it's pretty interesting, just the different things that him and his crews go through, like the fighting that they get into, the gold that he finds. They find gold when they actually are shipwrecked in Jamaica. They find gold, and he builds a house, and they live there, and then he gets all that taken away from him by those Indians. So yeah, just different. It's very good. It's a very good book. I do recommend that you try to read it. It definitely goes over different things you never would have thought about Christopher Columbus. I never would have thought. I think it mentions he's a Jew and he's from Spain, and that's a big deal. I didn't know that. He brings that out in the book as well. As far as a lesson for fifth grade, off of this book, of course you could read the book. You could read it to them, maybe. Obviously they could read it. It would probably be a hard read for them, but definitely you could read it to them or read parts of it to them. But a lot of the times kids are interested in hands-on stuff, show me. So I feel like you could almost do a history, a timeline, and show the boats leaving Spain, and them create the 3 boats, and them leaving, traveling the ocean, and then when he's shipwrecked in Jamaica, show that happening, and then landing in Haiti and the Dominican Republic, and kind of let them geography, visualize where all these places are on the globe. Because all kids, even up into high school, if they see it, they get it. Just telling them he left Spain and he shipwrecked in Jamaica, and then they landed in Haiti and the Dominican Republic. They'll go, okay, but seeing it and actually seeing it on a map and visualizing where those places are, I feel like they would get more out of that. You could also take a spin and roll right into science with this and look at the oceans, like the different oceans that he went across. You could look at hurricanes. You could look at, salt water. You could do the rain and all that kind of stuff, like the sky, the clouds. Like you could roll all into a science lesson. So there's a lot that you could do just from this book. You could talk about woodwork. There's a lot that you can do for your class using this book. But yeah, I do recommend it. Like I said, it was a hard read to get into, but after you kind of like get over that like first 10 pages, it was really interesting and a lot of good facts about Christopher Columbus that I didn't know. So I highly recommend it. The Last Voyage of Columbus by Martin Dugard. Y'all go check it out.